Do you find it hard to determine which COVID test you should take? Let me give you a brief description of the pros and cons of each test so you can make an informed choice. Probably the most familiar is the gold standard, or RT, which means real-time PCR test. It has close to 100% accuracy rate, which is the highest. This test seeks out the RNA of the COVID-19 virus. People who take this test are worried that they may have an active infection. If you have travel plans, you will need to inquire at your airline, cruise line, or destination embassy for the travel requirements pertaining to COVID-19. Most will ask for either a negative COVID-19 RT-PCR test within 48 to 72 hours prior to arriving at your destination, or a negative antigen test that will be done in 12 minutes or so. Travelers who came from the U.S. are still prohibited from entering certain destinations. At present, there are 3 main procedures to collect specimen for the RT-PCR test: a short swab that is inserted through your nose, a long swab that reaches the back of your nasal passage, or you can simply spit into a collection cup and have your saliva assessed. Although the test can be had for free in certain locations, most people are deterred by the long wait at the drive-up facilities. In fact, participants are so numerous that labs often take 7 to 10 days to release the result. By this time, you may have already been passing on the virus to others or undergoing self-isolation unnecessarily. Next is the antigen test, which is also for those who suspect they may be actively infected. The test searches for specific proteins contained in the virus, and the results can be had in as short as 15 minutes. A positive result is considered 100% accurate. However, a negative result has a small probability of you actually being positive. The antigen test is preferred by some people who aim for faster results when time is of the essence. But take note that if you ever tested negative but manifest symptoms or was recently exposed to COVID, a follow-up RT-PCR test is still advisable. Now here's more about the COVID antibody test. A bout of COVID infection can make your body produce antibodies. While the virus is still in your system, they try to gauge the period that the antibodies remain active and resistant, and if it is possible for the antibodies to shield you from future infections. Let's move on to 2 more COVID antibody tests. First is serology, wherein blood is extracted from your vein and forwarded to a lab. Results can be claimed in 2 to 4 days. The other one is rapid antibody test, wherein droplets of blood are gathered from your pricked finger. Results are ready within 15 minutes, but they are a bit less accurate compared to the serology test. Now that you know the pros and cons of the various COVID test options available, may this help you make an informed choice. For stress-free testing, you may check us out at Biosymmetry.